So our next guest decided that they wanted a first-hand experience of Canada's food scene. So they mapped out the ultimate edible road trip across Canada. 10 provinces, 3 territories, and more than 37,000 kilometers later, they've ended up right here in our kitchen. Their culinary adventures are laid out in the pages of Feast, recipes and stories from a Canadian road trip. Co-authors Lindsay Anderson and Dana VanVeller are here to share a few of those recipes. Great to have you guys here.
Thanks for having us.
I feel already connected, and here's why. My name is obviously Lindsay, and my sister's name is Dana.
No.
Yeah, true story.
Well, this
I
is
know.
good. This
So
is
good way to start. Okay, so how do you even come up with this idea, thinking, oh yeah, this is a good one, we're gonna
do this
yeah,
crazy thing.
fun.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Yeah, so it actually started while we were camping in Squamish, BC once. We were lounging on a fallen log in the river and kind of talking about everything. And and we started talking about food, and then we started talking about Canadian food and how we're 2 Canadian women who've grown up in different parts of the country but can't really come together and figure out what it is that we can call Canadian food. So from there we thought, let's see what we can explore of the country. And then from there it was like, well, let's go to all 10 provinces and all 3 territories, and let's do it in a car. And
And then you eat your way through.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, very cool. Okay, so what do you want to start with? Shall we hear?
So we're going to show you a couple of ingredients today that are sort of lesser known Canadian ingredients, but wonderful, and kind of we feel like everybody should know about them.
Okay.
What we're going to show you today is a chocolate rye loaf. Obviously, a lot of people know about rye. It's in a lot of like German and Eastern European baking with breads, but we've actually paired it with chocolate in a loaf.
Ooh.
It's sort of like the ultimate snack loaf, we've decided.
Okay.
A friend of ours described it as comfortably chocolatey.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so we've got, and rye loaf, it's delicious. It doesn't have a ton of gluten in it, though, so if you're going to be baking or cooking with it, often you need to pair it with something else. So we've got some white flour and then rye flour. So I'm just going to mix the dry stuff here, and Dana's going to get started on the wet.
So is this the kind of thing when you guys found something you thought was Canadian, then you'd add your own personal touch to it?
Exactly, and we wanted to highlight a prairie ingredient, and rye is grown across the prairies, and then we've also decided you can put Saskatoon berries, another classic
Saskatoon
Canadian.
berries.
Saskatoon berries are a great one to put in. If you can't find Saskatoons, no problem, you can put in blueberries, which again are found all across the country. So we've got cocoa in there, cinnamon.
Was that the cocoa?
Exact. Oh wait, that was cinnamon, the bigger one. We put lots of chocolate in.
I mean, was that cinnamon?
Yeah. sure was.
Yeah,
sure was.
Sure was.
Yeah. So all the kind of classic stuff in a loaf is going in there. We've got baking powder, that sort of thing.
Okay, what are you doing?
We've mixed the brown sugar with the eggs, with a bit of buttermilk and a bit of plain yogurt.
Okay.
So you're just gonna. It's really, really easy. You're gonna mix all the dry stuff together, all the wet stuff, and then Dana's just gonna pour the wet stuff in here.
Okay.
The other thing, obviously, we don't want just to have cocoa in there. Everybody loves double chocolate, or at least we love double chocolate. So we're also going to add
chocolate.
A lot of chocolate.
A lot of chocolate.
Chopped up chocolate.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're just going for it.
Exactly. Why not, right? And then we're going to
not?
top the loaf with more chocolate, because that's sort of how we do things.
This has got to be a crowd pleaser.
It is.
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing that every time we made the loaf, we ended up eating it sort of in an afternoon.
These are?
These are Saskatoon berries.
Can I try one, or is it going to be?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah. If you can't
gonna
find
try
them,
that.
obviously, if it's in the middle of the winter and you can't, find them fresh, then you
Berries.
can.
Good.
Yeah, exactly. So then you're just going to fold in the berries. It goes into a
really
loaf
good.
pan, and you bake it.
And you bake it.
Super easy. And actually, again, we like to top it with
there's more chocolate.
Lindt. Exactly.
Why not?
Right? And then if you have any left over, then you just snack
Can I see
away.
this?
Yeah, so you can just stir that up. It will go into a loaf pan. You're going to bake it in the oven at about 350. So super, super easy. And again, it's not too, it's chocolatey, but it's not too sweet. So it's a good thing to kind of snack on. It's actually a really great road trip food. Road trip.
So good. Okay, so that's a great option.
Yes.
Let's move over to this section. What are we here?
So these are birch syrup and black pepper cookies.
Birch syrup.
They-
Birch, please.
So birch syrup is sort of the lesser-known cousin of maple syrup. It's made from tapping birch trees. And this recipe comes from the Yukon, from Uncle Berwin's birch syrup.
Cool.
He's runs a company up there that produces birch syrup. Really, really lovely. Really peppery, really spicy. They're a great holiday cookie.
Can I try it? This is it?
Taste
Okay,
it.
do you mind if I
Oh, go to town.
do this?
Yeah. And if you can't find birch syrup, you can mix a bit of maple syrup and molasses. But It's so good. It's it's so
It's
unique,
like,
right?
It's got like a
It's
pop
more
to it.
punchy than maple syrup. It's a bit
For
sharper
sure.
and richer. That's why it's great for baking or even using in savory meat or fish dishes.
It feels thicker or something.
Totally,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, okay.
So it's
good.
yeah, it's we all talk about maple, we all love maple, but not enough people are talking about
I
birch.
love that idea.
Yeah.
Okay, and moving down here,
Yes.
because these caught my attention.
We
I'm a
had
burger lover.
Exactly, we had to show these off. So these are in the book. This is an elk burger with blue cheese and caramelized onions, well, balsamic red onions.
wow.
So elk is a meat that, beef, it's all about beef. And so in the book, we tried to highlight some other meats as well. So bison, elk. We met a rancher outside of Ottawa named Tom Van Egan.
Yeah.
And he took us out and we got to meet his whole herd. And
Like
it's,
those are that's not like his like crew. It's like
yeah,
an
it's
actual
like
herd.
his animals.
We got to meet his herd.
Yeah, exactly, which he loves. And so then we decided, man, that we tasted the meat and we're like, this would be really, really great in a burger. And it pairs beautifully with blue cheese.
So can I ask you, while you're traveling, where are you testing out the recipes, or you just sort of bring them back home? Are you in people's kitchens?
Often we were, but we
Cool.
actually collected the recipes after the road trip.
Got it. So you sort of you were sampling as you go.
Yeah,
well,
we kind of
listen,
interviewed people. Yeah.
guys, these are great ideas, and I love that you guys created a Canadian identity really when it comes to our taste buds. You can find all of these recipes and information on the cookbook on our website. Dana, Lindsay, I feel like I'm talking to family. Yeah, that's so good.